Today I am going to answer the question of, are Meta's Advantage Plus campaigns actually good, or are they just a piece of crap? Luckily for you, you've just come into the apartment of someone that cares deeply about Meta ads, and not just Meta ads, cares about people doing well with Meta ads. So I'm going to cover not just what they are and how they work, but I'm going to say what my opinion is of them in general and what they're good for and what they're maybe not so good for. And then I'm going to finish with a real world case study, because yes, I run an ads agency and I do this day in, day out, and I've spent millions through Meta/Facebook ads over the last 6 years now. And so I've got a good view of it, and I've got one case study that's a really good example of the split between Advantage Plus versus more traditional campaigns, which I'll cover at the end. Of course, feel free to skip to that if you like. So let's dig into it. So first, we're going to start at the documentation within the Meta world or Facebook world. And this is literally telling us about Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. So Advantage Plus shopping campaigns is part of the Meta's products which levers machine learning to help you to reach your perfect audience with less setup time, greater efficiency. Advantage Plus is designed to be the most efficient tool for performance-focused advertisers looking to drive online sales. So this is extremely marketing, which always makes me nervous, and it talks about less setup time and machine learning. It wants to drop in that as much as humanly possible to make it sound very smart and be the most efficient solution for performance-based. Performance-based is purely just marketing, because obviously everybody is performance-based. I want to be better performance for my ads, as in make more money. Like, that could mean anything. In comparison to manual sales campaigns, Advantage Plus shopping campaigns require fewer inputs during campaign creation, simplify audience options, and streamline the creative management process. This removes the need to have many campaigns, blah, blah, blah. So what I hear from this is that the campaigns will give you less options available. And yes, maybe if you're somebody that doesn't know what you're doing, maybe you've never run ads before, and maybe you have no way to understand the data somehow or something, then maybe it's good to just have less options. Maybe you literally are going to have no control over anything except for just putting some ads in and some copy in, and then let Facebook figure it out. Well, okay, that maybe is a good move, to just let all of the settings be open. Although, to be clear, you could do that without Advantage Plus campaigns. Advantage Plus campaigns are nothing new except a rebrand, really, of existing setups. So if you took a normal campaign and you made the budget get managed by the campaign level, which is now called Advantage Plus, and you said that all of the ads just went into one ad set and it was just one audience, which was your entire country. Well, essentially that's what an Advantage Plus is. Also, the placement types are all being included. So yeah, it does go more specifically into this. Using Shopping Plus campaigns streamline performance goals. So this just simplifies that. Combines prospecting and existing customers. I think this is really important, because if you have remarketing and top of funnel cold marketing in the same campaign, well, then it's going to mix those numbers. So often if you're looking at an Advantage Plus campaign, you might be thinking that the profitability of that is much better than it really is, because of course a middle of funnel or bottom of funnel campaign, like a 45-day stack, like I like to run often, is often going to be the one that's like 7-10 times ROAS, but then the top of funnel might be 1, 2, 3, 4 times ROAS, and it balances out to be, say, 5 times ROAS or something like that. And so this balancing of the top of funnel is, in a lot of cases at least, less profitable, and the remarketing is more profitable. Well, then they balance out. But if you just stick that all together, then you're going to be believing that your overall average is higher, I think, because you're going to just see it as this overall thing, and the remarketing kind of takes time to set up separately, etc. So this is murky, and I don't think you should be judging them together. So I think it's better to have them separately, apart from each other. Also, the identify and aim for the highest value customers across all of Meta's family of apps and services. So this is basically saying there's the placement type within the ad system, and that has things, all of these other networks that it has available to it within the Meta family. But frankly, many of them suck. So we turn off a lot of those. I'm not going to go into which, there's other videos that I talk about that, and if you're interested, feel free to comment. But the reality is that many of them aren't good. They're not high quality traffic and they don't convert for us. And I can see that within the data, test after test after test. So I just turn them off. And so then that makes my campaigns more efficient without any machine learning to decide that for me. Of course, Meta wants people to be spending in those places because they make money from those just like any other, but ultimately they're not good for you. And so this is Meta essentially forcing you to use those if you use Advantage Plus. Simplify campaign structure and management by running fewer campaigns. Yes, technically that is good, but I like to have separate campaigns. For example, if I've got an image to test and a video to test, I want to have them as separate campaigns, not just in one ad set, because it makes it much simpler to be able to judge the performance from one versus another, and audiences all separated nicely. That's one of the most important things that I see people not doing when running their Facebook Meta ads. Automatically test up to 150 creative combinations and deliver the highest performing ads. So again, you can just throw in a bunch of stuff and let Meta do it, but Meta does not do a good job generally of testing the creative. I've seen this time and time again. If you take 10 different images and put them in to test within one ad set, and let just Facebook do what it wants to do, it very often makes a decision on one ad versus another within only a few pounds of spending its budget, and the product that you're trying to sell might be £200. So how are you able to judge the performance of one particular product versus, like one particular ad versus another particular ad, if the spend has only been £2 on this? That just isn't enough to have a fair test of a comparison of those two creatives. And so Facebook fails at this all the time. It looks at things like click-through rate and cost per click and cost per 1,000 impressions rather than cost per conversion, because you can't do that with cost per conversion because there very often has been none before it's already made its decision. It then goes on into setting up the Advantage Plus campaign, which is of course extremely simple because there's not much to it. But this kind of sums it up, to be honest. Like, my view of this and the reality of the Advantage Plus campaign is it takes away your control. And so taking away control, if you don't know how to use those controls, can be good. But ultimately, if you do know what you're doing, you lose that control, you lose the ability to make decisions which can further improve the results. I would say though, an area where Advantage Plus could benefit and could do better is where that control, we start to fail to maintain that control as intelligently as a computer can, as AI can, as a machine learning can. And that isn't in many cases the case, but in some cases it is. In the cases that it is where you're more likely spending huge budgets. So if you're spending, for example, £100,000 a day on your Meta ad campaigns, well then you have huge quantities of conversions coming through this system. And so when, for example, Facebook is trying to decide between these 5 different images, well then it will discover which was the winner conversion data very quickly and efficiently, because of course it has absolutely tons of it flying through, and so then that's easy to make that decision. Similarly, if we're talking about different placements, like all of the different options it has, like Instagram and Facebook and all the others that I think are crap, well, if you've got, again, thousands of conversions coming through the system every single day, well then fair enough, you can probably make a decision pretty fast and get to a conclusion. And so in those scenarios where you have a really high budget or just tons of conversion data, well then I do think Advantage Plus shopping campaigns have a place, and I have seen them work better, often not generally, which I'm about to go into, but there is an opportunity there, I think, where the machine learning really kicks in and it can kind of all come together very well. So now let's switch over to just one case study, which I'm going to share on my screen. So this is a partner of us. They have previous other campaigns running that was run by another agency, and these were based around Advantage Plus campaigns almost completely. They also did a couple of other things, but almost nothing at all really. And then you can see that all of these ones which say BOF or TOF, are campaigns that we set up. And so this is comparing Advantage Plus, you can see ADV Plus versus As, which have this TOF or BOF is an easy way to judge that it's As. So these are, simply put, you can see a real easy comparison. So these from here to here, these are the types of ROAS that we generally have been producing with this particular client. You can see roughly around 8 times ROAS. This particular company then tried to come in and produce a bunch of Advantage Plus campaigns, and you can't argue that anything really happened except for spending a lot of money and not getting so much. So the average was 2.27, 208, 1.73 versus 15, 8, 4, 12, 5, 4, a single one here of 2 and 7. Further back, you can see some of these ones here, 2,700, this one's not much of anything, but 1.9, so again, that was theirs, and then this one over here was As, and this one as well. So you can see this is a really simple example of 1, 2, 3 different Advantage Plus campaigns being used, and also I'd argue that the other campaigns that they ran were much more simplified setups. And compare that then to the old campaigns that we had produced, which were based on a normal campaign structure where you split up the campaign top level by product and by creative, and then within that you do your audience testing at ad set level, and then each ad set only has one ad which connects back up to the campaign that it's connected to. And you can see that the results were produced from here. So this is not 10% different. This is dramatically different. And so consider this is an example of Advantage Plus versus the rest. So do not think that Advantage Plus is this kind of holy grail panacea answer to your problems. I think that it's very easy to believe that Advantage Plus is the answer because it's so much nicer to use in terms of you have to do so much less. But once you get in the rhythm of using meta ads, it's not so scary, and sticking with this system lets you really actually do what you want, test what you want, learn which are the creatives that win, which are the copies that win, etc. And that's how you make progress within this world, improving your ROAS week after week after week. That's the game, not just kind of launching and then let Meta do its thing. I hope this was of use. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's made you reconsider Advantage Plus, leave a comment below. I love to hear that kind of stuff. And otherwise, I hope you subscribe if you enjoy content around paid advertising, business, time management, all this good stuff I like to talk about, so that I get to see you in the next one.